Hello and welcome to 50Fabulous Knits. My name is Pia. This channel is my happy place where I get to talk about all the yarn and all the knitting. And I am, as always, very happy that you're joining me here today. Happy New Year! I really hope everyone had a good start to the new year, and I hope that you had a chance to cozy up with some knitting over the holidays. I have been working a lot on my Christmas cast on. I've been knitting and ripping back and knitting and ripping back, but I will show you that later. First, I want to talk about what I'm wearing. This is a brand new thing that I cast on and finished during this week. I gave myself a knitcation. I am going to talk more about that later, but I spent 4 days just knitting my little heart out, and at some point I just needed some instant gratification. I needed to play around with some chunky yarns, and this is what came of it. I started out just knitting a very classic, comfy, cozy cardigan. But then I decided to add a fringe to it, just for fun, because when you can knit something up in 2 days, it's okay to play around, I think. For some reason, I don't know, this fringe, it gives me sort of a cowboy vibe. So I have decided that I'm going to wear it with my Western boots, and I'm going to call it Billy Bob. And that way I'm going to fit right into what I thought that Texas would be. I am going to play around more with this pattern because I really want a version with some color work here on the shoulders, and maybe a version with some bubbles on it. I'm not sure if bubbles are going to be too big with this yarn. I don't know. This is my fun knit, my playground, and I am definitely gonna have some more fun with it. This one is knit up in a very budget-friendly yarn that I got the last time I was in the States. So I went to Hobby Lobby and I got this, let's see, Effortless it's called. And for sure, it's effortless. And as you can see on the label, it's what, $7.99 per ball. I used 5 balls for this one, so it's budget friendly. It is mostly acrylic. There's only 20% alpaca to it, but it's super soft and cozy and wonderful. I really enjoy this yarn, but I'm also gonna try to knit up in some other yarns. Yeah, stay tuned because I see myself knitting quite a few of these. Yeah, my Christmas cast on. We need to talk about my Christmas cast on. Do you remember that, well, returning viewers might have seen that I cast on for a scarf on Christmas Day. I was using some amazing yarns. I mean, look at the colors here and the shine, the depth. It's a yak silk blend from a Danish hand dyer called A Knitter's World. And it's just dreamy. My plan was to make a scarf, as I said. So, yeah, I cast on with all you. And I knit, and then I wasn't happy with the result, so I ripped back and I cast on again, and I tried to knit something else. Still a scarf, but I changed the color work, and yeah, no. So I ripped back and I cast on, and I spent Christmas Day knitting and ripping back, casting on, knitting, ripping back. And then at some point in the evening, I decided, okay, enough is enough. And then I, on a whim, cast on for a modern version of my childhood sweater. See, my childhood sweater looked like this. I had this in, I mean, I had it in many sizes. My mom would knit these for me. And looking back, I really love them. I love how the color work is at the bottom of the body and the sleeve rather than on the yoke, as we're probably more used to seeing. So yeah, I did a few quick calculations. I cast on and just look where I'm at. See here. I finished the body with the wonderful color work. I finished one sleeve, and now I just need to work a little bit on the second sleeve, decide what I'm going to do for the neck, and I have my childhood sweater again in a very different version, but I know I'm going to love this. It is, yeah, it's this fingering weight yak silk blend. So it's super light and airy, and it has the beautiful drape of the silk. It fits me exactly like I want it, with lots of positive ease in the body. I have made a drop shoulder on this one, and it's just, yeah, I'm loving this. This is how a Christmas cast on should feel. So yeah, really enjoying working on this one. I hope I get to finish it tonight because I want to wear this thing. I want to have it on my person. It is lovely. I will say, and you can probably see this if you look closer at the color work, you can see that it is not super smooth and even. When you're working with a fiber that has less elasticity to it than a wool typically will have, well, then you need some patience. When you knit color work in a non-treated wool, it'll just look absolutely amazing from the get-go. But when you knit in a less elastic fiber, it needs to find its place. It needs to be worked into place. It won't be completely perfect until after blocking. So just a little friendly warning. Don't think that you can't knit color work if you're knitting in a non-elastic fiber or less elastic fiber. It just needs blocking. And this one will, of course, need blocking as well. But just look at how these colors play together. I think they're, in this project, these colors actually get to play the way that I wanted them to play. I couldn't really make that happen in the scarf, despite all my efforts. So I am super happy that I decided to just change it around and go for this one instead. I'm really loving the look of it, so I have plans to make another one in a heavier yarn, just to see how that will knit up. Returning viewers might remember my chicken knits that I have knitted in so many different yarn types. One of them was a sock yarn, and it was a little bit like this, drapey and light. And then I knit one in a heavy sport weight in a rustic yarn, and it's completely different. Still beautiful, but a very different look. So I'm gonna try to see if I can use this pattern the same way to make two very different garments from the same pattern. So yeah, this has really been, yeah, a sad beginning. I was so frustrated. At one point on Christmas Day, I just wanted to throw it to one side, forget about it, knit on something else. But I wanted to work with this yarn, and I wanted to find a project where the yarn really had a chance to shine. So yeah, I think I did it, and I am super thrilled about it. The yarn was a gift from Bettina, who is the woman behind A Knitter's World. And I am so happy to be able to show her that I actually managed to find a project that gave her yarn the chance to really come to life. Yeah. There was a lot of knitting in my Christmas cast on, and I also spent some time knitting on this, but I have another new cast on that I want to show you. I have a lot of minis, and actually I don't know why, because last year I used up all my minis in my Christmas blanket. Then of course I had an advent calendar this year from Birk and Bow. I've used their yarns before for my wing shawl. They're amazing. They're also they're two Danish hand dyers who dye together. Yeah. So yes, I ordered the advent calendar. I got to open 24 beautiful mini skeins based on an old Danish TV show that I love and have watched probably 8 or 10 times. I'm really enjoying those, but I also had other minis laying around. Here's some from by Killerek, also Danish hand dyer. She is the woman behind the yarn that I used for my Knit with No Name and my first snow. I also have a mini from Yarn by Sanders. This is one that I won in a knit along. And then I have a little leftovers from the swirl that I bought. Let me just see, like this, the one that I bought when I was in Texas a year ago, something like that. I went to the McKinney Knittery. I got a swirl. I used a lot of it on this one, stripes, scrappy stripes it's called. Yeah, these two I also have. So yeah, I have quite a lot of minis. For some reason, I love minis. I can't not buy minis. So I wanted to use them. Also, I needed a blanket because in Italy, we don't have like a big cozy blanket. We don't have anything on our bed. We just have an old linen sheet. So I would really like to make something gorgeous. So I am making this, a very, very skinny blanket. No, of course I'm gonna make this in sections. I'm gonna be adding sections to this. Yeah, I am holding all the minis together with a kit sock, drops kit sock. It's a very neutral colorway that doesn't add anything to the colors. It's this one, color number 20, and it is just this grayish sandy beige that just it mutes the colors a little, but doesn't add to them as such. So yeah, I'm really loving the fabric that I'm getting. It is so snuggly, and I also like that the colors are just muted a little bit so that they really blend together. And I have no color management involved in this. I just pick whichever mini is on top. I am keeping it in this gorgeous bag, which was a post-Christmas present from a Danish maker. She is Tina Mai on Instagram, and she makes these really special and lovely project bags. So, and this one is big enough that I can keep a lot of minis in here. The ones that I have caked up, I keep those in here, and then I just grab whichever strikes my fancy when I need a new one. Yeah, it's a little wrinkly because it's crunched up, but I do these shallow triangles, and yeah, this is a pleasure to knit. This is just one of those knits that it is just so calming and so soothing. It's only garter stitch. I don't have to think about anything. I can just enjoy all my minis. I can sit and remember, where did I buy this one, and what kind of souvenir is that one, and yeah, a lot of fun. I am really enjoying this. I also think that large projects like a blanket, there is something calming about them, probably because when I start knitting a blanket, I know that it's not going to be done anytime soon, and it's okay. It's the nature of blanket knitting that it's not done anytime soon. This is a forever knit, and I am really enjoying that. It takes away all the pressure that I sometimes put on myself to finish because I want to wear my knits, I want to use my knits. Like with my Christmas cast on, I'm like, knit, because I want to wear this. This one, this is just, yeah, relaxing and calming and so gratifying. I did have to try a couple of times until I got a stitch count that allowed me to get 2 triangles out of 1 mini. But yeah, I'm probably gonna write up the instructions for this. I'm not putting any pressure on myself. At some point, I'm gonna write up some instructions if anyone wants to make a blanket out of their scraps and minis. And these are the only 2 projects that I am currently working on, my mini blanket and my Christmas cast on. I have so many things that I want to knit on. In the introduction, I had put out all the different projects that I wanted to knit on, but I am pacing myself. Not now. I want to just really relax and enjoy the process of each knit. So for now, I'm not gonna have a gazillion projects on the go. But we all know what I'm like. We all know that in a couple of weeks, I will have 15 whips plus the old ones that I have hanging right over there. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Why didn't you finish yourself? But for now, I'm enjoying focusing on a few select projects and really having fun with that. This channel is very close to reaching 5,000 subscribers, which is crazy. I would have never imagined anything like that. Oh, when I started podcasting, I am I am so grateful to all of you who subscribe to the channel, to all of you who are watching, following along on this knitting journey. And yeah, I want to give something back. And I was lucky enough to have Henriette from Bikilaric, the hand dyer who made the yarn for my Knit with No Name and my first snow. And she wanted to donate a kit for the first snow. So at some point, we're going to reach 5,000 subscribers. When that happens, I'm going to do a giveaway for this yarn. I'm going to do it on Instagram because with this channel being both in Danish and English, I think it's quite difficult to do it here on YouTube. So make sure that you're following me on Instagram. I am fiftyfabulous.strik. Strik is knit. And yeah, look out for the announcement of the 5K giveaway because this yarn is everything. It is the base that she calls it a Basque 400. So it's, how much is it? 70% baby alpaca, then it's 20% silk and 10% cashmere. So it is soft and it is glowing. She dyes on a gray base. This is the undyed base, and this is then the color black. And it is so soft and it is so nice to work with. Yeah, you really should look out for the giveaway for this yarn because this is a very joyful and enjoyable project that you can make with this. I am also gonna give the winner the pattern for the first snow. So if you want to knit that, you can do that, or you can do whatever with this yarn. It's good for everything. So yeah, that was it for the knitting content. Not a lot, because I have been focusing, as I said, on a few projects and then a little fun added in between. But yeah, as I said, I had a knitcation. First, I enjoyed a wonderful holiday. We've been away from Denmark for quite some time, so we have been spending a lot of time with friends, family, parties, get-togethers, late night hangouts, and it has been glorious. But being a hardcore introvert who really thrived during lockdown, I needed to recharge after the festive season. So when Peter left for Dubai on January 1st, he needed to go do some work. I treated myself to a knitcation. My knitcations are quite simple arrangements. There's not a lot of commotion. It's knit, 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 knit. When you get lightheaded from hunger, you can grab a sandwich or some chocolate. Chocolate is mandatory on a knitcation. Then you knit, knit, knit again. You do not sleep too much because that will cut into your knitting time. You just knit. And it is wonderful. And it was everything that I needed. I always enjoy a good knitcation, but this time the timing was perfect. So yeah, that was absolutely wonderful. Now I am recharged. I am ready to engage with the world again, and I am going to, because tomorrow we're gonna have a big party for the family to celebrate our birthdays, which happened while we were away. And I have a week full of lovely, lovely get-togethers. And now I can really enjoy that and engage in that fully. So yeah, all is good here. I do hope that wherever you are, all is good with you. I hope that you're well rested and happy. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. Thank you to everyone who leaves comments or sends me messages. Every time I just get happy, like really, really happy that there are knitters out there who want to share this with me. So thank you so much for taking the time. It is really appreciated. Until next time, be well and happy knitting.